There's no better way to celebrate winning a war other than getting shit-faced. Oh, fuck. Unless it's winning a war and eating tacos. Today on Poor Choices, we're celebrating Mexico's victory over the Second French Empire by cooking up some carne asada just in time for Cinco de Mayo, every beer company's favorite day next to the Super Bowl. We've got a 24-hour marinade, and from there you can choose whether you want to head straight to the grill or experiment a little with me and see just how juicy we can get this meat. Starting off, we need a marinade. Now, this is not a traditional marinade at all. This is just one that boosts a lot of flavor. If you really want an authentic carne asada marinade, I'm sure there are a ton listed on the sidebar over here, but today I want flavor and juiciness in these carne asadas, so I'm going to be doing some things that you might deem ridiculous, and you know what? You're right. But luckily, you can pick and choose what you want to do from this video, and I'll guide you at those places when the time is right. Deal? So, get yourself a nice sized container, and to it we'll add 3/4 cup of fresh squeezed orange juice, 1/2 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice, 1/3 cup of fresh squeezed lime juice, 1/2 cup of soy sauce. And I know some of you are like, what? They don't use soy sauce in Mexico. I know, this is just to boost the savoriness of the steak. 4 cloves of garlic minced up, 1 teaspoon of finely chopped canned chipotle peppers, 1/4 cup of Cattleman's grilled 8-second ride carne asada seasoning. You can also just use any Mexican seasoning here. I just really love this one. 1/2 cup of olive oil and 1 bunch of fresh cilantro chopped up. Give all that a whisking, and also if you want to add some other things in here, by all means go for it. Some chopped green onions or red onions would be good, along with the zest of some of those fruits we juiced. Then I've got just under 2 pounds of skirt steak here. You can use flank steak here as well. Both will get the job done for these tacos. And I'm just gonna place it in the marinade. Give it a good massaging because it's had a tough day. It's about to have an even tougher one tomorrow because we are letting this marinade go overnight. But you can also do this in as little as 4 hours, but overnight is recommended. Hey, it's me from the intro. I just want to say at this point, after this 24-hour marinade, you can go straight to the grill. 500 degrees, direct fire, like 4 minutes per side. Then again, depends on your doneness. I like to go for a medium rare to a medium. And that's it. You can skip past this next part, get right to the green sauce. You've got carne asada. But for those of you who have a little bit of patience, I wanted to see how juicy I could get this meat. So instead of just going straight to the grill, I'm gonna go to my sous vide and then to the grill. And for those of you who don't have a grill or a sous vide, you can literally get it out the marinade, get it nice and dry onto a cast iron pan. It's gonna be delicious no matter what. Just depends on how much time and effort you wanna put into this. So for those of you who are sitting at home saying, this is completely unnecessary, you're right, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Hey, you're still here? Great, that means you're deadly curious just like me. So, as mentioned, you can skip all this, make the green sauce, and enjoy your carne asada, but one of the reasons why I never buy carne asada that much is because it's often overcooked, which makes for a tough chew. It is a thin piece of meat after all, so it's very easy to overshoot its doneness. So, I wanted to try my favorite way of cooking steaks, which is sous vide. I feel like locking the steak in a bag with all those juices for a few hours, cooking it to medium rare, and then only needing to sear it for a minute on each side for extra flavor is worth the added steps. And that's what we're gonna do. So I've got this Anova vacuum sealer, and I'm just gonna use their custom roll to make a bag to fit this carne asada in. It's easy, you just seal one end, then measure out how long you want the bag to be and cut it at the other end. All these things will be linked in the shopping section, but I love this little setup. Then we'll roll down the top of our bag a few inches because we wanna keep that as clean as possible when it's time to seal. If you've got juices and seasonings in the way, it could prevent the machine from giving you a nice secure seal, and then when you put it in the water's gonna get in the bag and everything's gonna be ruined. Think about when you've got seasoning or juices in the way of the Ziploc portion of a Ziploc bag, doesn't quite seal right. So get your steak out of the marinade, and if you can, let it sit on a rack to drip off the excess for about 5 minutes. We want some of the marinade in this bag, but we don't want too much liquid in here. Again, it'll mess up the vacuum sealing process. And once in the bag, try to get the steak laid out in a single layer if you can, but it's okay if some of it has to overlap. It's so then that it's not going to block each other from getting cooked. At this time, you can also add in things like whole cloves of garlic, thyme, onions, anything else that you want to flavor this with. Then unfold the end, seal it up using the vacuum and seal function, and then plunge this bad boy into a sous vide bath at 131 degrees for 3 to 4 hours. This sous vide is from Sous Vide Art. It's amazing and I highly recommend it, along with some of the other ones like Jewel and stuff, but this one, fantastic. 4 hours is up and I'll get my meat out of the bath, out of the bag, and onto some paper towels where I'll pat it dry. We want our meat dry so we can get a good sear on it. After I've dried it, I'll hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper and let it hang out for a second while I make our taco sauce, a Peruvian green sauce. It's so good on everything. So to a blender, we'll add 2 jalapenos, including the seeds and ribs, but no stem, and just cut those into large chunks. 1 tablespoon of ají amarillo paste. This one you might have to go to a Mexican market to find, or just order it on Amazon. 1 cup packed fresh cilantro leaves, 2 tablespoons of cotija cheese while my camera freaks out for some reason, 2 cloves of fresh garlic, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, 2 to 3 teaspoons of freshly squeezed lime juice, 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper. Give it all the blending until nice and creamy, and this will keep good in the fridge for 5 days, and trust me, you're gonna want to put this on everything. Now, let's get this meat on the grill. Technically, you could eat this right out of the bag, but we wanna add some extra flavor to it. So I've got my Kamado Joe ceramic grill preheated up to 500 degrees, and I've set it up for direct heat. And you can also do this on a gas grill, just same deal, direct heat. Or if you don't have a grill, you can use a cast iron pan. I would just cut up the meat in sections that fit my pan prior to marinating. And because this meat is already cooked, we only need to sear for 1 minute on each side. No more, otherwise you're gonna overcook it. That's why we need to make sure our grill is nice and hot before we put it on. Speaking of, we'll just place it on, let it go for that minute. We'll flip over, check and make sure it is getting a nice good sear, which this definitely does. And then we'll let the other side go for a minute. And then that's it. Get it off the grill, take it inside, cut it into thin slices against the grain, and look at that. I'd say we did a pretty damn good job not overcooking it, keeping the juices locked in, and making some delicious grilled meats. Plate it up and you're done. Throw some tequila on the side and you have yourself a nice, happy Cinco de Mayo. Hey, this is Poor Choices Kitchen. We have a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for that, although you can edit your donation to be more if you want to, if you're that kind-hearted. Or we have the YouTube memberships here on the channel, $2.99 a month because YouTube likes to take their cut. Both go a long way in helping us pay for these recipes in these here inflated times, and I definitely appreciate any donation of any type. And make sure you check out those shopping links if you're interested in any of the items that I use in this episode. And I hope you all enjoy this. I try to keep these recipes down to things that you can like go to your local store and get. Like I know the Cattleman's Grill Carne Asada seasoning probably isn't just readily available where you're at, but you can use like literally any taco seasoning that you want to. That one just happens to be my favorite and I had it on hand. But this should be an easy go-to recipe, and again, you can do it on the grill, you can do it in a cast iron pan. It is all up to you. You can put it under the broiler if you want to. You just need a flame. At the end of the day, you just need something really hot. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll definitely be back with some more Mexican grilled recipes over the summer because nothing makes my heart happy like a taco. See you next time.